right, I'm here with BJJ black belt, Scott Burr. He's going to show us a few things.
Okay, hi guys, I wanted to talk to you a couple ideas about the mount position. Mount positions obviously is a very dangerous position for the guy on the bottom, whether we're talking about a jiu-jitsu match or a fight. So there are a couple ideas about how I compose myself relative to this guy and how I engage with him that can really reduce his freedom and his effectiveness and really improve my ability to start to deteriorate his position and work to an escape. Okay, so the first idea, when I'm here, I'm bound and the guy's, sitting here, he wants to start to attack or he wants to make punches, anything. We all know that it's a very good idea to keep the guy low on my hips so that he can't advance and so that my arms are protected, okay? But when I, see people playing mount, what I see people do is they kind of get here and then they start looking right away for either an elbow knee or the trap and roll, and they don't start doing the one thing that's gonna really make their mount escape a lot easier for themselves, which is that they don't start messing with this guy's balance, okay? I'm in a really good position to be an ejector seat under this guy, okay? Whether I keep him too far forward or if he wants to sit back too far back, okay? So my main objective in the beginning is never let the guy settle. When people sit like this is fine, this is a good place to start. But now the whole point is to keep the guy over my hips, not just because I want to potentially trap and roll him, but because when my hips are under him, he doesn't get to just be comfortable where he wants to be, okay? The hips are my main tool. I make a little earthquake under him all the time, right? And so when he's like this, it's very hard for him to really distribute his weight into a punch or an attack. Everything's a little wrong for him, okay? So this is the beginning, is always keeping him a little bit here. I like to say that, when I give the guy an energy, there's no more standing still. He's either going with the energy or he's resisting the energy. So if I give him a push like this, he either goes back or he's pushing into me. When he pushes into me, it's easy for me to do this, okay? But there's no zero anymore. This is zero. Everything's great for him. He can punch, he can hit, he can attack, he can start to do whatever. When he's like this, he can still move and it's not like he's totally messed up, but it's not quite the same. He has to be working to keep his balance. Okay? So this is the first idea, is that I always want to keep him a little bit unstable. The second idea is that when we think about making it our escape, now that we have the guy unbalanced like this, we see he's either coming forward or he's going back, right? He's either getting bumped or he's sitting heavy. So now I have his energy, 1, 2. I want to be able to continue this energy to make my escape. But I'm in the way. If I push him like this, my legs are there. If I bring him like this, my head is here. I can't keep going high. So my bumping goes along with my moving off the line. So here, if I start to bump and the guy sits heavy, I don't want to push him like this. I want to make an angle, make a hole for him to fall into. Okay? So my action is always going to be to skew myself. If he's running 12 to 6, I'm going to end up 11 to 5 or 1 to 7 here. If I'm going to make a trap and roll, if I push this guy back and he brings his weight forward into me, here, I bring him forward. Now I try to turn. He posts with his hand. But if I move myself out of the way and I bring him straight in line with his energy, now my trap and roll is much easier. So I'm always engaged with the guy's hips. Forward, back. He doesn't get to be stable. I move out of my way, off the line, right? Nice way to drill this for people, especially in a room like this, where you can see beams in the ceiling, or you can find a seam in the mat, is that I always want to think about skewing off this line. So here, trap and roll, you see the line of the energy stays here for the guy giving forward or backwards weight. And all I have to do is keep him a little unbalanced. This guy moves into mount. Okay? And it's very easy then too, right? Obviously, I bump the guy forward, the guy sits heavy, I stay with. I'm not in my own way. I don't want to end up in a situation where I push, but my feet are there. Here, I can turn. And same, if I push, if I start to give the guy energy back and he comes forward, right? Whether I catch his hand or he posts and I catch his hand or whatever it's going to be, when I'm here, it's easy for me to continue and be heavy already. Okay? So the whole point of keeping the guy on your hips is to keep him unsettled, to keep him constantly trying to find his perfect middle position. Okay? And then I want to use my angle to take advantage of that, right? I'm creating what I used to talk about, like, same thing on the feet. I want to put the guy on roller skates. He can't quite stand still. He's always he's standing on ice. It's a little slippy all the time. And then when the energy goes, I just keep it going where it's going. Cool? So, a little idea about the bottom of the mount position and how I make myself a little safe. You see, it's very hard for him to mount an attack when he's constantly trying to catch himself. Okay, so the beginning of my safety comes from make his position not so good. Okay, so try that out. I hope it helps you guys feel a little bit better in the bottom of the mount position.
If you haven't listened to his podcast episode, check it out.